Hello, everyone. Welcome back to Global News. Let's talk economics. Okay. Um, we're looking at the way that outside of um, college sports and football, basketball, so on and so forth, we're looking at changes that are unfolding in the market of the country. And some people mention that there may be a recession. There may be a collapse of the dollar and some other things that can affect uh, our day to day spending and the aspects of contributing funds that we have. And with that being said, just like the recession that occurred in 2020 due to the COVID, um, and there was a lot of adjustments made. Everyone stayed at home, people received a stimulus, and they were able to watch TV, fund different projects, kind of keep the economy going. And so with that being said, looking at um, the possibility of we have in wars that is subtracting a lot of taxpayer dollars where funds are going to a whole nother country. There is also a new economic plan for the other part of the world where they have formulated with this new acronym that stands for BRICS, which involving spinning a currency that's outside of the dollar, which automatically eliminates a lot of uh, production as well as um, business dealings with these countries. So if we could just eliminate all of the businesses that were done with the dollar of those countries, we could just eliminate that automatically out of the economy, the the economy in which that produced. So automatically that is going to have an adverse reaction to the dollar. And supposedly we're going to switch over to cryptocurrency, so on and so forth. So while all of this is happening, that is less money floating around. You have the bank crisis that occurred in um, Silicon Valley, and you have the real estate, um, credit card, and inflation and high interest rates, far as making large purchases, is more expensive. You also have the impact of entertainment and how a lot of large companies are starting to um, cut back, become more efficient, laying people off. So all of these changes play in effect on decision making as it relates to investing. So at this point, um, if you're a TV network, you are not wanting to make a bad investment. And at this point, if you had to compare where would you want your TV slots to be designated to, it would probably be on a lucrative deal, something like the NBA. Now, with that being said, how much is enough, right? How much is enough? Well, if you already have your hands tied into multiple conferences, college football conferences, then it's a good chance you probably don't need more because you're going to fill your slots with NBA. And so that leads us back to, what does the conference that doesn't have a TV deal um, is thinking about when it comes to all of these adjustments that's going on around them. Now, mind you, right? It is wise to do things that is business savvy, and suggestions that was mentioned, like merging. Maybe merging would be a good idea. So, with that being said, let's see what transpires with the waiting and the delaying, and as time dwindles. Now, um, there was some fans mentioning, um, hey, why would see this usually always happens when there's not an agreement, because had that conference went with ESPN and Fox, then you wouldn't be hearing people say, "Oh, why would we go with them in the first place?" All they're going to do is just promote uh college their college games within their networks. That's what they're supposed to do. Um and comparing apples to oranges, or Amazon to ESPN, there's no comparison in the TV network. You don't compare a technology streaming company to a cable linear broadcasting company. It just doesn't, have the same uh, evaluation, uh, or the mechanisms to evaluate the two on. So to do that is like not making sense. Now, let's talk about where we're spending our dollars. Let's be realistic. As consumers of the product, if you have linear, we know how that is distributed. We know how that is packaged, right? You sign up with the cable company, whichever one that is in your area, whether it's DirecTV, whether it's Comcast, whether it's Cox, whether it's whatever uh, cable providing services that are in your region. Okay. Um, you go and you pay for a subscription or a monthly subscription, depending on what channels you want, anywhere from 50 to 250, so on, in channels. And in that, it's going to have all of the networks that come in those packages in linear TV. So, um, last time I checked, Amazon is not a channel, it's its own entity. So it wouldn't be in that package. You would have to go outside of that and go through um, internet providing and purchase, or app base to purchase the Amazon for Prime. Now let's look at it. There was someone mentioned that they would rather purchase Amazon over ESPN, which, let's talk about it. Mostly every household has cable in their house. So it's a common thing. I would say one out of every, better yet, I would say at least three out of every five households have cable, while maybe one out of every five may have streaming, far as to as a preferred way to watch TV or entertainment. Now, with that being said, most people are already obligated and signed up with a network, a cable company in their households. So that means that with the economy, factor in all elements of the economy, this current economy, and the direction in which we are going, or it is going, and the expenses that we have with our cable network providers, and what we're spending, right, with the elements of the economy. And okay, we are fans of the Pac 12, right? So Pac 12 just did a deal with Amazon. So that means all of their games going to be streaming. And so, in order to watch an Oregon and a Washington game, we have to go through Amazon Prime. So, what does that mean? Well, we got to sign up, whatever that price may be. It may be $10 a month, it may be $20 a month. Who knows, to get the Pac 12 games, what it would cost. But that would be additional money. So, not only are you paying for cable, now you're going to be paying for um, to watch the Pac-12 on another platform. Now, with that being said, let's be reasonable. Let's look at it from a reality standpoint. The average person is going to get wind of that. They're going to find out that that the Pac 12 is now on Amazon. They already have cable. They're already watching other sports. They like the NBA. I'm pretty sure they also like the NFL. So they have cable. Now, okay, Pac 12 is on Amazon. So we must purchase Amazon Prime um, uh, uh, package or whatnot to catch and watch the Pac 12 games. So, with that being said, we're going to spend an additional $25 a month to catch these games. Now, yes, one out of every five households probably would do that, but the other four would say, nah, never mind, I'll catch something else. So, what that means is most people are not going to be watching, okay? Not Most people are not going to be catching that Washington and Oregon game. Only one of every five households are going to be watching that Oregon and Washington game. The other four is going to keep it simple with cable. So, how is this being tracked? Well, we're going to look at who all is streaming this game, and that is going to be based off of numbers. And depending on that, that's what Amazon is going to look at when it evaluates how this deal is going. Now, mind you, while all this inner office business is going on between Amazon and the Pac 12, a lot of people have already wrote off the Pac 12. For one, doing this deal, for two, making it more complicated, and for three, out of sight, out of mind. We're not able to see them, and we're just going to focus on these other things. Now, there's some people or there's some schools or institutes within the Pac-12. It's just not going to go for that. They're not going to go for that. They're going to question. They're going to want to be able to be seen. Now, remind you, this is another thing that people are not paying attention to. The players and the fans, okay? This stuff goes hand in hand. You take away the visibility, you take away recruiting. You take away recruiting, you take away accolades. There's a thing that's called the transfer portal, okay? The transfer portal is making it to where there's no institute exempt. That means any talented player can go to any institute it chose by way of the portal for pastures that are greener on the other side. That simple pasture is visibility. So if a talented player is recruited to one of the Pac 12 schools while in, let's say this year they're already recruited and they're there, and then they have linear, and then they catch wind that they have just did a deal with Amazon. Most of those 5-star, 4-star, 3-star recruits are going to apply themselves in the transfer portal to move to where they can be more visible. Because remember, the name of the game from a player or a student's perspective is to make it to the big leagues, to make it to the NFL. And in order to do that, there has to be visibility. They have to showcase their talents. They have to showcase their abilities. They have to be attractive to scouts. They have to be able to be viewed and packaged to where their stock increases and want to be drafted or selected for the NFL. With no visibility, that's out the window. So I don't see talented 5, 4, and 3 stars recruits staying in a place where they are not seen or can't be seen. These are logical realities to this whole landscape and system, spectrum, and process of sports, college athletic sports. Okay, so understand that it goes hand in hand. What does a conference look like with no talent? Oh, I know. They end up the group of five. Or, and not to say anything negative or bad about the group of five, it's just that most people do not consider the group of five as in the likes of the SECs, so on and so forth. Not only that, I was just watching uh, a uh, Tennessee spring football camp, and I'm not kidding. The players on there are humongous. They're like giants. They're recruiting giants to play. So when you get out there on the field with these teams in the SEC or the Big Ten, these players are giants. Compare that to a group of five recruit. These guys are small, and it's like you're playing against these giants. So therefore, the competition is not the same. So with that being said, just remember, keep this in mind. The conference without a TV deal, all of these factors play a role into, it's not just alone about the money. It's about all the other elements that come with the decision that's made or going to be made for the future of the conference. Now, just let that sink in. This is once again Global News Sports bringing to you, all right, updates, visions on the college football side of things until basketball season start back up. That'll give us something else to discuss and talk about. But for now, we're following this thing close, and we're just putting food for thought for those out there who's making these decisions that can have an impact on the growth and the development of the direction in which this conference is going. All right. Thank y'all for watching. Till next time, make sure you subscribe, share this video, comment, and I'll see y'all on the other side. Thank you. Have a great day.